good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, good night, whatever time it is, wherever this video finds you in the cosmos today. Welcome to Kai Chi Alchemy. You can call me Katchi. This is a space of love, y'all. Welcome or welcome back. I want to thank y'all for showing up. Thank you for co-creating community with us, and thank you for all of that engagement in all of the ways that y'all have been doing that lately. I really appreciate it. It helps to grow and facilitate and stoke this community into the right direction. Yeah, but everybody's welcome here, right? Three strikes and you're out. All right, well, today I felt very called to grab us an oracle message from the Kim Kranz Archetypes deck that's very abstract. 1, 2, 3 on the clock. Very abstract, sometimes non-linear, and in all cases a little out there. But it feels quite appropriate right now, given the very interesting Mercury retrograde Cancer season we are having right now. I think the last time that we did an archetypes reading, we had the temple. That's been a while. I think that was the thumbnail too. It was like pretty much exactly this shot with my face right here. There might be something about like left-right brain synchronization, something about integration, union, yolking of opposites. So, let's see what Spirit's got to share with y'all today. Freya, Folly, Michael, Mary, please be here with me now. Please allow me to see. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your wisdom. Please allow me to channel a message in alignment with the collective's greatest and highest good, balanced with that of the collective at large. A message free from any delusions, distortions, detours. Sometimes detours are important, especially during Mercury retrograde, to rethink things, to revisit things. But this message may or may not be directed to the here and now. I have the candle right here. What is it called? Autumn something. It's like a fall festival themed candle that I got from Nine Woods, the candle company by Jess Puckett and her husband. I'm blanking right now. Feel free to ask me later if you're curious. But yeah, so this is the fall themed one. And then there's another one that's like sugar plum that I sprinkled a bunch of roses in, and I burned a lot during springtime. And so they both have very seasonally specific scents to them. And I have them on either side of the table here. Right in the middle of this summer solstice, like right in the thick of it, right? So there may be something about the timeline of this most recent spring into this upcoming fall. Or maybe next fall. I think it'll depend on, each of y'all. Do we need any clarification? Oh boy, what was that? The shadow the shadow, the womb, the tear. So all that stuff on the bottom is pretty dark and intense. Oh, dang it. I have somebody doing Free Palestine in the freaking chat. Sorry, give me a second. Again, I'm going to wait till people that say, said hi, do that 2 or 3 times, just because I don't have the time to be messing with y'all. Remove. Hide. Remove. Cool beans. That's funny you say don't worry, because I say no worries all the time. That's like my catchphrase. And sometimes there are worries. So there definitely are worries here for somebody, but it's not the main energy. It's just kind of floating around the edges here. So let's see. What we pulled today was Aletheia. This is actually my mother's middle name, I believe. I don't know if that's how she spells it exactly. It's something in that vein. All right. Let me find this section in here. If I knew my Roman numerals, I'd be able to find it a lot better, but I always struggle here. Aletheia is number 77 in this deck. 77, 777, 7777. All the sevens have been super present lately. So this is definitely, time specific to one degree or another, in one way or another. And this is going to be on page 221, way back here. Oh my goodness. It's like the very last page almost. All right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Aletheia means truth. I don't think this is how my mom spells it, but that is what I have always heard about that whole, family of names. Is it means truth. And we have the womb, the shadow, the tear here that's giving this like void, grief, processing space. And what is the truth? The truth is the most beautiful thing on the planet. The truth includes pain and grief and horrible atrocities and horrible suffering. And all of those things have value as long as they are true. Man, sometimes people get into like making stuff up like that. We don't need that. We have plenty of struggle in the light, in the truth already. And this particular card, it says, when light, there is clarity, revelation, disclosure. Clarity, revelation, disclosure, processing of grief, processing of, shadow, processing of creations that you had to let follow, What is the word when you intentionally end a pregnancy? There's so many of them. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. But like in a more energetic sense. It's about like being really attached to something and putting your co-creative energy into something, putting a lot of emotional energy into something, putting a lot of like questioning and like trying to stretch and trying to not get caught up in your bias, but then you get caught up in somebody else's bias and somebody else's shadow. All of these kind of energies, right? When you move through them the way that they're meant to be moved through, you gain clarity, you gain revelation, you gain disclosure, and it's a freeing, lightening feeling, It's a liberation. Whether it's positive or negative, whether it hurts or not, whether it's what you wish to be the truth or not, if it is truly the truth, there is always going to be a certain degree of clarity, revelation, and disclosure inherent in that exploration of that truth, through that processing of that truth. But then it says, when dark distortions, gaslighting, and excuses. So whether you're talking about if you're like gaslighting yourself, if you're minimizing this stuff internally, or whether it's somebody else in your life, some other force, whether you are making excuses for your shadow, making excuses for maybe like the pain and the tears that and the the lost dreams of other people that you maybe like impacted in one way or another, consciously or not so much. I think that that's a really important aspect of somebody who is committed to the truth, is being able to fully believe that you were like doing the best you could, you were in the right situation, like you had reasons to do what you do, and then upon further observation and investigation, you pick up some information, whether that's like objective or whether that's like more ethereal, but you pick something up, you feel that you were misaligned, and you open yourself up to the possibility that your actions harm someone. And like it's just this general energy of being willing to go from one thing to another, from being able to from going from believing something to believing something else. Not because you're wishy-washy, not because you're sycophancy, not because you're just like going wherever the wind blows you, because that can be definitely its own problem. But if you do not have the capacity, if you've never shown the capacity to fully, deeply believe something and then switch your position on it later on, I don't trust you. I don't think anybody should trust you. I don't think you should trust you. And you definitely shouldn't be like going out of your way to prove that you're capable of doing such a thing, because that's fake and that will be very clear and obvious. Truth always becomes very clear in the end. If you try to sidestep it, if you try to use it and like use the truth as some kind of like righteous justification for why you're doing what you're doing, and you feel righteous, but then what you're doing is no longer righteous, but you don't have like anything in there to allow you to see that. So it's very important that you question yourself. You question yourself a lot, that you're very open. But if you question yourself a lot and you are very open, you also have to be very mindful not to get wrapped up in other people's distortions, definitely not to allow other people to gaslight you or make excuses for their unacceptable behavior, for you to make excuses, for them to make excuses, for anybody to make excuses. Okay, and then it says to go deeper, the recommendation is to explore the goddess Ma'at and Veritas. I'm going to leave that there. I do not want to get particularly religious or political tonight, just given how we started off in that chat. Let that sink in for y'all a little bit. On the side here it says, it is said that the resonance of our voice changes when we speak a falsity. In this light, practice seeing truth as a vibration. It's not what it sounds like, it's what it feels like. That is how you can decipher the truth. I've had a lot of experiences where I made people very uncomfortable and had a lot of retaliation because I will listen to the words that people speak and I will like interact with them based off of that. But I'm still picking up on the deeper resonance, like the deeper vibration of what's going on. So if you say something that's disingenuous, if you're lying to yourself, if you're lying to the community around you, if you're white lying, if you're trying to manipulate me, I don't like take offense to that. I don't fight back against that. Like that doesn't help anything at all. That feeds directly into manipulative energy, and I don't want to just go assuming that my intuition is correct right off the bat. I want to be open to it. That's how you develop your intuition. But I also don't want to develop some kind of spiritual narcissism where I just like jump to the end and I think that I'm completely infallible. That is also a problem. So I'll be taking in all this information and I'll be interacting with people based on the words they speak. But my perception of them is very much based off of what I'm feeling, what I'm perceiving, what's right in front of me, what I feel when I shake their hand, or I grab their shoulder, or I sit in the same room with them, or I listen to them breathe, or I watch them walk. Like, there are so many things that are so much more important and valuable as far as gathering information about people's thoughts and feelings and intentions and like self-perception, perception of the world around them. And so to try and talk to somebody who's being dishonest with themselves or being dishonest with the people around them in a way where I'm trying to like help them get more true, help them get more aligned, help them get more honest is only gonna hurt me and probably create all kinds of resistance and retaliation in these people that want you to believe their words. So yeah, you may be dealing with a situation right there where people want you to believe their words, but you know in your chest that their words are disingenuous. So any conversation that you have with them is kind of on the level of half-truth. That can be real exhausting. You may be kind of getting a little bit over interacting with people, might be getting pushed a little bit into like a hermit mode phase. That kind of makes sense. The womb, the shadow, and the tears giving very much like go into your cave and process your own stuff. But there are some things that we can't learn all alone. So it's good that you keep coming out of your cave and trying to express truth, share truth, connect with people over truth. But in order for you to be committed to the actual truth, in order for you to really have that type of integrity, you have to be willing to accept and recognize and acknowledge when you're being dishonest with yourself, with different parts of yourself, with the people around you, when, you talk yourself into believing that you have one reason for doing something, but it's another reason. That can happen. And you have to be open to the fact that the people that you are interacting with may also be speaking lies, may also be saying one thing with their bodies, with their mouths, with their pens, and saying another thing with their energy. So trust the energy, clock the energy, process the energy on the level where it is true. On the level where it's not some kind of like hard fact, objective truth. You don't need to put it into words. But you should accept and acknowledge and like respect that data collection, because it's just as important as the objective stuff. The golden egg? The golden egg is hatching, indeed. The flower is in the intersection of the two. Which two? Oh, yeah, I think that, I mean, yes. I was trying to think of a less clinical word. You know, people have been intentionally ending pregnancy without like medical intervention for a long time, through like prayer, through herbal medicine, through all kinds of things. Um, and mm, every birth has like a purpose. Every time you have a child, they may grow to be 88 years old. They may outlive you. You might have a child and they don't make it to their 5th birthday, and that's how it's meant to be. You might have a child and they don't make it past their 1st year. That's probably SIDS. That's probably the hospital. That's in any case. You might have a child and they're stillborn, and that's how it's meant to be. You might conceive a child and bring it nearly to term, but it's not meant to be here any longer than that. You might conceive a child and miscarry a few weeks into it. You may hold an egg in your womb and choose to not fertilize it because you don't have a safe place, a safe community, a safe partner to try and co-create a safe home for that child with. And so even if you haven't technically conceived that child, you still have the source, you still have the base, you still have that egg. And that egg was supposed to be here to give you certain insight, to give you certain information, to give you a certain experience. But then it's no longer the ideal timing and circumstance for that pregnancy, or, you know, for that egg to do its thing. And so your body recognizes that, processes that, you spiritually process that, and then you make space for the next experience, the next opportunity, the next egg, the next creation. So everything that we create, everything that we create has a purpose and has an expiration date, has different potentials to it. And we don't always know the details of these things. So we shouldn't stop co-creating because something may not turn out the way we expected, or it may not last as long as we thought, or we really wanted it, but the universe is like, no, this is not it. It's not time, it's not right, it's not something. You're missing something, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So, there's a lot here about timing. There's a lot here about emotions, about the wide rangingness of truth. You know what this card is giving me? I was getting that, what is that Bible quote? I think it's from the book of Job. And it's like spoken in the voice of God. Like, I created all things, like the dark and the light, something like that. And real truth is not sunshine and rainbows. But it's also not the domination of sunshine and rainbows either, which is what some people can turn to when they start to see the complexity of reality. But then they're just like, oh, I'm gonna side with the dark because that's, if I'm selfish like that, I'm gonna get more of what I want. And that's the devil. You don't want a spiritual narcissist energy in the light or in the dark. That stuff's dangerous. That's imbalance waiting to happen. Oh, this is fun. Picasso said, we all know that art is not truth. Art is a lie that makes us realize truth, at least the truth that is given to us, that is given us to understand. At least the truth that is given us to understand. We all know that art is not truth. Art is a lie that makes us realize truth, at least the truth that is given us to understand. Yeah, art is the processing. Oh, what is that Kari song? It's just processing. It's just God's processing. Dang. Okay, well, if that comes through before the end of the evening, maybe I'll put it up on the community tab or something. Seems important for some of y'all. Yeah. But in order to be committed to the truth, you have to be committed to the process. You have to be committed to contradiction, paradox. You have to be open to the rainbow. You have to be open to not truth. You have to not take truth so seriously. In order to have integrity and in order to remain committed to truth, you have to hold that process lightly in your hand, like a butterfly in your open palm. If anybody has a question that they would like me to pull some cards on for your particular situation, I'm happy to do that before I pop off. So think of a question and let me know in the comments if you would like to take advantage of that while I've got time here. Our soul recognizes the truth. When someone speaks it, a cool wave of relief washes over the room, and all the facts and figures in the world fall by the wayside. Such is the power of Aletheia. It has an undeniable resonance that goes beyond the rational. We can also recognize Aletheia by its contagiousness. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves and are more likely to tell our own story. The Aletheia card requires us to step toward an act of truth. This might look like a conversation, a gesture, a poetic act, or a ritual that honors the unveiling of what's been concealed. Reclaiming your own truth is a way to reclaim your vital energy, health, and sense of belonging in the world. Truth has its own wings. Set it free. All right. Man, that was such a good one. All right. How do you balance your potentially destructive shadow traits and patterns with your co-creative abilities and inspirations? How do you keep both of these things alive and present and processed processing? How do you process them in a way that holds space for both extremes and both realities in a way that is productive, that has integrity? The tear. What makes you genuinely tear up? What brings you genuine emotion? Because you're the only one. You know, we can always sense into the people around us and get better at that. But at the end of the day, you are the best, highest authority on resonance in your own chest when something is true to you. And you are the highest authority on your emotional truth. A lot of people work so hard to try and like feel what they're supposed to feel or look like they feel what they think people want them to feel, and it gets so jumbled. That really is the work here, is getting rid of all those other influences and concerns and being fully committed to your emotional truth. Because the more connected to your emotional truth you are, the more authentic your connection to your emotional truth is, the better your intuition works. And if you want to move through the world in a way that is committed to truth and balance, and not just a one-sided rationality, not just a left-brained thing, you have to commit to holding space for your emotional reality, regardless of any validation or opposition that you experience, regardless of any emotions that you might have in response to your emotions that you would like to avoid. Like any of this distortion and any of this excuses and pushing things off into the future and assigning the source, like assigning the blame to something else, it really messes with your ability to know truth, to feel truth, to see truth, to speak truth, to communicate with people, and connect and operate on the level of truth. And so at some point, if you're trying to protect yourself by hyper controlling your emotions and your emotional space and trying to make your emotional reality fit rational reality, that's some crazy abusive nonsense. Whatever. We've all been there. You really have to be more committed to the truth than to your comfort, than to your pleasure, than to your ego satisfaction. You have to care more about protecting the truth and keeping the truth safe and keeping the truth sacred than you care about your body, your job, your reputation. And it's not to say you should just like tank everything, but the more aligned you are with your emotional truth, it might make things a little bit more challenging in the beginning. But the more you stay committed and the more you invest in meeting life on the terms of true truth, balanced truth, it's gonna work out better for you in the end. So if there is some kind of, selfishly motivated part of yourself that you need to, tap into and utilize to help you get going in the right direction, then I would recommend doing that. Absolutely. Truth has its own wings. Set it free. Don't cut the butterfly out of the cocoon. But don't keep it locked up in your little butterfly cave. What are those called? You know what I'm talking about. Have you all ever hatched butterflies in your classroom environments and stuff? Those are really fun. Oh man. Here, let me fix that too. I said that you could ask a question. You got probably like 30 seconds left since it's been so long since I first asked. But I will still consider it. All right. If nobody has any questions for me to pull any cards on today, I'm going to leave y'all with a real good image here. Let's see if that Kim Kranz artwork speaks to you at all. That's so funny you said monarch butterfly and then you posted the little blue butterfly. I know it's the only butterfly that they have in the emojis collection, but I did recently see a monarch butterfly and I was like, oh, is it even the right season for that? I don't know. I think the monarch, not hibernation, when they go from one place to the other. Oh my gosh. Migration. Yes. Duh. Yeah, I don't think their migration is exactly the way it's supposed to be. We got a lot of weird electromagnetic stuff going on with Earth right now, so I'm not even sure if what all the whales and the dolphins and the birds and the bees are used to is going to continue to be relevant. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's funny you say monarch butterfly and then you posted a little blue butterfly. Do you know anything about like the conspiracy theory side of what monarch is about? What the blue butterfly is about? I would be curious to know. Speaking of being committed to truth first, not being committed to, oh, that conspiracy theory sounds real cool and interesting. I want to do everything I can to prove that it is right. Or that's really dumb and dangerous and I need to do everything to prove that that is wrong. That is always the wrong attitude. Open up. Both and. It's reminding me of, what is that thing that they say in the Baha'i faith? Baha'u'llah said something about science and religion are two wings of the same bird, and we need both of them to fly. Yeah. So try not to fall into scientism. Try not to fall into spiritual narcissism. Try to keep both wings. Try to hold space for all the things. You're not trying to go left. You're not trying to go right. You're not trying to prove left. You're not trying to prove right. Just the fact that something is left or right is probably enough evidence that it is wrong. Okay. 39 on the clock. I hope that y'all are having a wonderful day so far. I'm definitely looking forward to getting into the continuum concept tomorrow. We might read Father Theodoret if we have time, because I'm just so excited about that one. And we might plant some pine trees and stuff too. So we'll see about that. Love, light, peace, and personal responsibility. I will see you next time, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your whatever it is, wherever you are right now.